Hey everybody, Alden Ford here, along with Shai'An.
Hey.
And Seth.
Hello.
This week we are hard at work on 510, which we're very excited about, and it's going to be a crazy, epic monstrosity of an episode. Because of that, we decided to take a little bit more time to sew it up nice and get all that Shai'An magic in. I will say 510 is the product of 6 recording sessions and counting. We can't wait for you to hear it.
So 510 will be coming out in 2 weeks.
Yep.
But we didn't want to leave you hanging for that long without anything in the feed.
We thought we'd do something this week that people have been asking us to do since we started doing the show. 2 things, actually. One is that we are going to release a completely uncut, unsound designed recording session of one of our recent episodes. And we thought that there was no better episode to illustrate that than 507, which is, of course, a little ditty about Jakk and Shai'An, starring Chris Grace and Eric Gerson.
I love that sounds like it's your pet name for it, not the episode title. It's a little ditty about
it's
Jakk and Shai'An.
The literal title of this episode. And after that, the second thing we're going to do is dive deep, for lack of a better phrase, into kind of the process as improvisers and producers, editors, sound designers of how we make the show and some of the decisions and creative processes that we use to bring a show from start to finish.
I personally am very excited about this. This is something that fans have been asking for. And just to be clear for everyone out there, what you're going to be hearing is a tracking session. This is going to be like what we do in the room. And in fact, we almost released a tracking session right before 501 came out, and it was aborted at the last minute because I think the cast is scared. And I've been wanting to do it for a long time because I think it's interesting.
Great theory.
Fans have said, will you release a raw recording? And I've said, I don't think you want that. The reason we edit them so much is that
they're better when we edit
them. We leave in the really good
we
stuff.
We leave the good stuff and we take out the bad stuff.
But this one, I remember texting you guys while I was editing it saying, if we ever release a raw recording, I think it should be this one. Partly just because it was so bonkers.
Yeah, and it ended up just because of the technical hurdles of having live accompaniment, it ended up kind of by necessity being a little more linear than some of our other sessions where we were allowed to get kind of mired down in conversations about canon and how we were going to move the greater plot forward and stuff like that, which is not to say that those tracking sessions might not be interesting for some people to hear, but we felt like this recording session is a nice mix between something that stands on its own as something that you can still listen to and enjoy without editing, while also really illuminating how much the sound design does to turn a really fun recording session into a killer episode.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's jump in and enjoy, if you dare, this unedited tracking session for 507.
Oh, and we'll pop back in with some present day ads.
Mm-hmm. And stick around afterwards for some more BTS convo from us.
I am rolling.
Jeremy Bed recording.
Chris, do you have any scene setting? Do you have a preference of sort of what the environment is that we're in, or is that?
No, I'm just picturing the same thing as the Darmok, which is like a desert,
just like a weird
rocky planet.
Rocky,
Great.
yeah.
What did
perfect.
that character look like, or what do you want your character to
Had
look
like ridges on his head.
Ridges.
Yeah.
Classic
We
Trek.
we can build it as we.
Yeah, we
Cool.
can.
I don't know. I'm very easy. I can roll with whatever.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Oh. Okay. Somewhat of a strange environment here. My mission to find and reach out to Chris, did you have a name for this race of people, or
No, but can he be Shai'An, son of Jakk?
yeah, yes, absolutely.
Already great.
Okay, my mission is to reach out to this planet's emissary. Shai'An, son of Jakk. Okay, well, should be easy enough. Just got to find them. Okay, wow, gosh. These bodies sweat so much. This is the worst.
There's a man over there. There's a man over there.
Excuse me. Hello, yes, I'm not a man. It's sort of not worth getting into. Are you Shai'An, son of Jakk?
The chameleon skin of a man inside a machine, or a machine inside a man.
Yes, that's sort of accurate. I am C-53. Where's that music coming from? That is.
We greet you to this third rock from the center of the universe.
I greet you back. Should I be? Is it better if
The
I
crying
sing?
of a bird,
Yes.
an insect on a leaf, the setting of the three suns in harmony. We greet you.
I in return greet you. I am C-53.
The setting of the three suns.
Okay.
An insect on a leaf. We greet you. The setting of the sun.
Okay. I'm wow. I can understand what you're singing to me, but I feel like I'm missing something about these songs. Let me try one more time. I am C-53. I've been sent here by the coup.
Oh, my name is Shai'An. Shai'An, son of Jakk. My name is Shai'An.
Fantastic.
Son of Jakk, step back. Boy, you're gonna have a good time in this little town of mine. The Wells Fargo trucks are coming.
That's awesome. Can I hold for just a second? Allie was here and she dropped. Is she still here? Just wanted to make
Ellie.
She may have heard the music and was like, I'm fucking out of here.
I'm
Not
texting
interested.
her.
done.
I'm letting her know what's happening.
That was so great, Chris.
That was, oh man, this is going to be great.
Just, I'm wondering, as great as Wells Fargo Wagon is, I think we should pick it up with something just off of that.
We don't have Earthisms.
Yeah, Knowles Bargo or something like that.
Oh, sure. My name is Shai'An, son of Jakk. You better step back. I said to everyone in the town, the Fells Wargo truck is a comin', and I know he is up to something.
Oh,
Hi, Allie.
Hey, Allie.
See how
That was great.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm here.
okay.
This
That's
is sounding great.
We missed you.
Yes.
We were just imagining what it would feel like to drop in the middle of that.
how I so
Incredible.
skillfully picked a different name.
Yes.
Incredible, beautiful,
So,
enjoyable.
So just to catch you up really quick, we're going to double back and get the intro.
Yes, great.
After, but the pitch as it stands now is that the intro will be that we get a call from Nermit that we have to go rescue C-53, and none of us knew he was even gone. But it turns out that he's been going on missions without us because he's the lead envoy.
Wow.
And he's down on this planet with Chris's character who speaks only in song.
Better him than me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It will be the
Hey,
rest
Jeremy.
of us eventually, I think.
Jeremy, I think I'm going to try to be more enigmatic so you can make more assumptions about what I'm saying as
Okay.
opposed to me. I feel it's less interesting if I'm just singing dialogue.
Yeah.
know?
No, I think that
Yeah,
makes good
that's fine.
sense.
I mean, all the shit about the
The
bird
bug on the
on the
leaf.
leaf and shit.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I think that stuff is amazing.
Again, Allie, we miss you. It's really nice to be here with other people. So next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me, what shrimp entrees did you order?
It was just shrimp.
It's just shrimp, just pile of shrimp.
Just a big
That's
old
fair.
bag of shrimp.
Raw.
Yeah.
It's a boil.
Okay.
Also, hi, Eric. Hi, Chris.
Hi,
Thank
Allie.
you
How
for
are you?
both being here and doing this.
Thanks for having
All right.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
this is
we-
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'll
good to
go
go.
back into that scene.
Yeah. Let's roll and rock.
Okay. It's interesting. I can understand the words you're saying, but the meaning is being lost. Shai'An, son of Jakk, I am C-53. I'm a lead envoy from the coup. We're trying to reach out to your civilization, but why can't we understand you?
What happened to the 54th sea? Why do there have to only be 53 seas? This rock has got water everywhere. We've got oceans and rivers and lakes, but only 53 seas. Seas.
53 C's. Did you write a song about my name? Is that what you call me on this planet?
A song is as good as a handshake where I come from. A little island off the 52nd parallel on this rock of mine. We write a song as a handshake. We don't shake hands.
You write a song
don't
as
have
a
hands.
handshake.
We also don't have hands.
You couldn't shake it even if you wanted to, 'cause you don't have hands.
Ah!
I think I understand on some level. I feel like that's real.
That's really funny. That's
Nice.
really funny.
So silly.
Hey, it's us again. We're back.
Hey, it's us in the present day, not in the recording session. I know it's confusing when there's no sound design. As you know, Mission to Zix is entirely unscripted, but one of the very few things we do script on the show is our advertisements. But this week, since we're behind the scenes, we're not going to script anything, and we're going to do regular out-of-character ad reads. Shane, now's your shot, man. You get an ad read this week.
Well,
Congratulations.
it's not the ad reads that I'd been looking forward to.
Oh, okay.
It was Revenge on YouTube.
Oh no! What? Why?
For the whole
Green Chef.
Green Chef. Yes.
Listen, Shane. Green Chef is not a sponsor this week, so we're legally not allowed to mention their
sorry.
name.
That's false.
So
That's actually not true.
the
but I
meal
will say,
prep, company that caused that almost ended the show. If we're being honest,
Sorry,
yes.
Jane, we are not ever giving you those sweet Green Chef codes. No way.
but you know what they say: if you give a man a easy to prepare with low waste, low prep meal plan, you feed him for a day. But if you give a man extremely high quality XLR cables, he can integrate that into his job as an audio engineer and make the money to feed himself for a lifetime.
Wait, do we have a brand new sponsor?
We do. We have a brand new sponsor that I am excited about. IO Audio Technologies that sent me a few XLR cables, also known as microphone cables.
Yeah. And we've recorded a few episodes with these new cables.
I'm using one right now.
And I'm not going to lie, the recording session right before that, there was some audio crackling.
I mean, that's actually true.
It's
yeah.
totally
It came
true.
in
And
not
it's
a moment
gone.
too
It's gone.
soon.
It's
gone.
true. Yeah. There's also this other element to having a nice XLR cable that I didn't discover until IO Audio Technologies sent me these great cables, is that it's just nice to have like a thing that you use a lot that's just like a little bit better than everything else. Do you know what I mean? Like you get that feeling of like, ooh, this cable is not getting that like kink, and not in it. This one is like braided, but it's a kind of braid that feels like an extra good braided one too, on top of already being a high quality cable. And when they sent me these cables. They wrote me a letter. They said, I'm sad that Mission Zix is ending this season, but I know that whatever you guys do next is going to be just as incredible, which means that they are
that's
real
so nice.
fans. So
That's so nice.
if
That's
you are
awesome.
thinking about buying an XLR cable, please go to IO Audio Tech. That's the letter I, the letter O, and then audiotech.com/Zix and buy some good cables. It will make you feel better.
What a nice thing for a company that makes audio equipment who likes the show to sponsor the show. That's so great.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think that they have some more ads coming up. So some Zix characters are about to be using these XLR cables. That's what I have to say.
Exactly.
Thank you for supporting the show, IO Audio Tech.
Yeah.
But wait, what's that URL again?
It is the letter I, the letter O, audiotech.com/
If you can't, Seth, if you can't spell audio tech,
ZYXX.
you don't belong in audio tech, I think.
All right. Nice knowing you guys.
And with that, let's dive back into this recording sesh, right where we left off.
I don't know why he doesn't have hands.
They don't
that's
have
even
Probably
to
better.
does. He just call
That they don't have handshakes.
Oh, wait. I found my hand.
If you don't have hands, who's playing the piano?
Oh, that's the secret.
It's coming. It's coming.
Great.
Fuck it up.
You should
Alden.
actually investigate that at some point, Jeremy.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
You guys want to
Is
do
this-
another one of those? Or yes,
Whoa, whoa.
Eric?
Is this like even remotely what you envisioned?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. This is exactly
this
what we
is,
were.
Eric, this is
Yeah,
so great.
Better than perfect.
Should
better
we
than
do another
perfect.
one of these with you
Jeremy?
two, or should we
Yes.
try to start folding in the crew?
Just because I feel like we're in a good zone, yeah, maybe we push forward
Yeah,
with Chris
for
and
sure.
I, and then
do as many as you
I
want.
feel pretty in the zone with Jeremy right now.
yeah.
Get it, guys.
Yeah. All right. So your people use song to communicate. Everything becomes a song. Every word that we would have in our language is a song in yours.
I wrote
Every
a song about you. Now you do too. Shai'An, son of Jakk.
C-53 coming back to this planet after never been after fucked up already.
No. Try it again.
Yeah, there we go. C-53 coming back to this planet after never having been here before. Is that what you mean when you say everything's a song? A song is a handshake.
I wrote a song about you. Now you do that as well.
Yes, of course, Shai'An, son of Jakk.
He's like a child. He writes songs like a child.
Okay, well, I just don't know that I've done a lot of it before.
Like a child. A little starling flying through my sky. Sleep.
I'm a droid. I don't really sleep, but all of a sudden I'm so drowsy.
We both sleep as I cradle you.
Shai'An, son of Jakk. I can't stay awake.
The cat is in the silver spoon, and the cradle is the moon. Good luck putting this together.
You think this is the hardest episode we've ever had to edit? No way, man.
Editing itself. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we had a guest who played twins once. That was tough.
Yeah.
Dave Bloveband played twins. That was
It was so funny.
This is great. I think the thing that is missing from this is what what C needs to do. Like, I think if we have a high stakes thing you're trying to get, then the obfuscation of the song, like it gives you more reason to try to communicate with him.
I was trying to think of something and I totally blanked.
No. You're juggling 8 different knives at once.
Could be a natural resource on this planet, or
It's a popular one.
Yeah,
Love that one.
yeah.
oh, forget that then. Artificial resource on this planet. See, I have a mind that just so fast.
Oh man, this guy's like a.
The thing I thought about for my character was maybe there's a note that he can't hear that he used to be able to hear that he wants to be able to. So maybe it's something related to that. I don't know. That's just my internal motivation.
That's funny.
I love that.
I don't know if there's something like about harmony, like you need to find like the perfect harmony or someone to harmonize
great.
with. They're like,
I like that.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, what if Chris's civilization has been destroyed and like harmony is that's the thing he can't get anymore because he's the only voice,
Right.
Or maybe that's the
he
way
needs-
to like regenerate his society is with harmony.
yeah,
or something.
reproduce. Like he just needs. If there's a harmony, he can reproduce and rebuild his.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
So
Really
every
fun.
time
Growing.
every time there's a harmony, there's another one that pops up.
Yeah, so there's like a twin of Chris, and then we have a bunch of Chris's and have fun editing that.
Really fun to populate the world with more singers.
That could get away from us, maybe.
I can't see how that would. Yeah, I think we're fine.
But I think it could also be if as soon as we have one chord, it could be we see something reappear. It doesn't need to be a person. It could be
Like grass or tree.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
A
or like a
bunny.
building. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one really weird looking person.
Yeah. It was a little flat. Yeah, so that's good. I also think maybe if we add that C-53 knows he's not, like he can't contact the crew or the coup or whatever, maybe there's a little bit, that raises the stakes for him to be like, I need help getting out of here.
I can just add some lines to that thing at the top where I'm sort of roaming around, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like, oh, okay. Coup wants to know why everyone on this planet mysteriously disappeared. But I'm... wow, I can't contact Bargy or anybody. There's some kind of interference now that I'm on the surface of this planet. Well, looks like it's up to me. No pressure. Just something like that.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's good. Yeah, cool. So should we do one more after C wakes up from his little nap?
Sure, if you want to. Yeah.
And I think if maybe this one ends with some sort of harmony and a flower grows or something.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to bring you some food.
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh, wow. Still not used to sleeping. Very weird. Very uncomfortable to suddenly regain consciousness. Oh, right. Shai'An, son of Jakk. It's not very musical. Shai'An, son of Jakk. Thank you for guarding me as I slept.
The smell of a bison recently slaughtered.
Oh, that's very bloody. Thank you, Shai'An, for this midday feast. I thank you for it, though I need it in the least.
I thank you for it. I thank you for it.
Oh my Rod, the flowers are growing back all around us. What is happening here? Shai'An, I must ask you, where does this music come from?
I'm opening up my shirt. Like Quato.
The music is... Sorry. The music comes from you. You are the music. The music man. That's what they could call you if they wanted to give you a name other than Shai'An.
A song from my heart. Literally, a song from my heart. A sentient face instead of a heart that plays its own music. A song from my heart.
A song from his heart.
A song from my heart.
A song from his heart.
My heart.
Oh, trees and why a little path leading who knows where. Well, Shai'An, we simply must continue.
I feel like this is probably the part where like we arrive and we're like, the fuck is going on here?
That's really funny. I love that.
Nothing is funnier than musical improv. It is the funniest improv there is.
It's really,
Can I just pick up a line as like, I feel like when I was in a frame, I would have had the range, but.
Hey, everybody. It's time for one more ad. Right? Let's do another one.
Yeah.
This episode, as with many episodes this season, is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We've done a lot of ad reads for BetterHelp, and I think actually not only is it great that they have entrusted us with a bunch of ad reads and helped the show get made and stay afloat, but also I think for a lot of us, the last couple of years have been ridiculously stressful. And I think that more and more people are deciding how important therapy is. And BetterHelp is an easy, accessible, affordable way to get somebody to talk to, a sounding board for what you're going through, a chance to unload, if you will.
I've been thinking about trying it out.
Really?
With our Zix offer code. But do you know, this is true. A funny thing that I think about a lot for myself is like, how do I set up my microphone situation? Do you know what I mean? Because it's going to be like...
You don't want it to sound too good.
Right. Like microphone out of frame, but still sound good, because I do want that wow factor of like...
I mean, I think the answer is clearly to have it out of frame until you're saying something really important, and then you bring it in.
Oh, as a
and then you,
That's good.
but then you
That's
talk
good.
really quietly.
I like
So
Well,
the
it's funny you
volume
bring
is at
that
a
up,
constant.
Seth, because not only does BetterHelp offer, voice chat, text chat, but they also have video chat. So you can play your power move by bringing your high quality microphone into frame that any quality therapist will see right through. And it's more affordable than in-person therapy. So you, Seth, should see if it's for you or anyone listening to this, really.
But is there a deal?
Yeah, sure. Mission to Zix listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Zix.
But how soon could I get it?
You can have your first session in under 48 hours at betterhelp.com/Zix. And truly, we're really grateful to BetterHelp for sponsoring so much of this season.
Yeah. I love that BetterHelp is a sponsor, because I think that this is a very big picture behind the scenes thing, but like we try to have the show be positive and sweet at its core, and it's nice to have a sponsor that is helping people feel better. So
yeah, it's nice to have them be a part of our show this season.
Oh, just on a story note, I also appreciate BetterHelp because it, like, writing BetterHelp ads for characters is such an opportunity to have them be
self-aware.
Yeah, to have them be just talking about their emotions in a way that is not so organic in a normal scene. So it's
truly
it's
one
fun.
of my proudest ads this season is Hark being like, I think I'm to blame for all of
That
this.
was great. Yeah, I love doing that one.
I think I've brought this on myself.
Yeah, he's just self-destructive. I love that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That all of the lava pits he's been almost sinking into is like the product of like self-sabotage.
It's like subconscious. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
That's funny.
BetterHelp.com/Zix.
Without further ado, let's get back into this recording sesh. That's funny. Could we also get a pickup of like, Chris, are you imagining that Eric is inside your chest playing a piano?
Yes.
Great.
God,
Can we get that?
Can Eric
from-
also
from
say?
am I
Can
sp-
Eric
am
be
I
the heart?
speaking?
Yeah.
Say something.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I can't sing, so we can't harmonize with each other or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also something the
Or
crew
maybe-
could ask me at some point.
Or yeah, maybe that like
yeah,
just,
maybe we'll-
just constitutes
Alden,
like
did you just want a
masturbation.
visual
So
specifying.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
not-
no, I
There's a
just meant
piano there.
Jeremy describe or C53 describing what it looks like. That there's like a, I'm imagining, like a like Krang or something, right? Like
should I have a
Yeah.
Krang voice?
Oh, because you described it as a face, but it's music. It's piano noise. So like, is there a?
I just imagine it's a little guy, like
Yeah.
it's a head with fingers.
Has a
And a-
little
and
toy
a-
piano. He's like,
I play the piano.
It's like, ugh.
Hey, what's wrong?
He's
Wait, but what
completely
if your
disgusting.
body is actually a keyboard? So you're just like
Yeah.
playing
I play the piano.
yourself.
Yeah,
Am I like a parasite or something?
yeah.
I don't know.
Kill me, please.
Kill me.
That's yeah. Can we describe that, Jerry? I mean, I think if he's playing himself on like playing a little keyboard on his body or something, that's really funny.
yeah. Do you want me to do this in song or can see?
No,
like
I think
an
it could
aside
sort of be
kind
to
moment?
himself. It's like, dear Rod.
Oh my Rod, he's got another entity fused to his chest, who also has a keyboard fused to him. This got very.
Jeremy, could you say it looks like a piano tie?
Yeah. He's got another entity fused to his chest, and he's playing what looks like a piano key necktie.
You got it.
Okay. Glad you're on board. You don't sing?
No, I don't sing. I just play my piano key tie, and the music comes out of it. I'm fused.
Yeah, well, that I can see.
That's great. That's great.
Can you guys hear Nessie barking at all?
No.
No, but
She's getting a little
probably
barky. Okay.
will later. But that's okay.
Okay,
We'll figure it
great.
out. We
Great.
can always get-
Is there anything in
a,
there you guys wanted to pick up or do again, or should we move on?
Robbie. Robert Doggy Jr.
I totally fine if you don't want to do this. Is it? Should we get a retake of Jeremy's first song when Cheyenne asks him to sing about him? Because the game of that was kind of end up being that C53 just didn't really sing, and he called him a child, which works. But I wonder if we want a version, if there's a little more meat to that song.
Yeah, sure. Eric, do you remember that song?
Not even remotely.
I think it could be.
It could be new.
It could be a new
Yeah,
song.
it could be new. Okay, great.
If we want to just maybe take it from the Chris's line about demanding that he sing about him.
Yeah, we don't need to pick that up again, but we could just start from him.
Sure. Yeah. I'm looking at a man. He's got no hands. He's looking at me like he wants me to sing him a song. So I'm singing him a song. I hope it won't be too long before this man says, not a bad job on that song. I was trying to sing the worst song I could think of. Like,
That's really funny.
That was great.
That's great.
Thank you.
That's really funny. Cool. That feels good to me. Does there?
that terrible song feels good to me.
I guess we should maybe start folding in the crew?
Yeah.
Winston's just
Winston's
snarfing down.
chomping in the background.
He's like,
I love
we got
that he's
shrimp back
on
here?
camera.
So I do think it's going to be such a shame not to have Nermit on this mission. We need to figure out a way to get you down there.
I think it'll be funnier if he's never allowed to sing. It's like so brutal.
Yeah, he could
No, but
call
Nermit-
in and be
Nermit,
like, "You
they-
guys need me. You need me."
Nermit, the secret was harmony. We had to do harmonies though down
What?
there.
What's
which
that
is
mean?
why-
Nermit is also like he has an alter ego, Bermit Nundalay, who's a singer, but he's bad. So he would want to do this so badly, but it is funny if he's denied.
I don't know. Sorry, I just feel like
Oh, no,
the most comedic decision
Yeah,
is for him
I pitched
not
the
to
same
to
thing.
not
All
be
the
able
he
to-
was
yeah.
like he can't go, but maybe it could be that he
know.
calls in and so he can feel the pain in real time and doesn't.
Or
get the
even,
same-
or the third act is that we're like, yeah, the mission's over, and you're like, but I'm still ready. You're like, no,
it's like,
you know,
Nermit, we're sort of done.
we're
here.
kind of sung out.
Yeah.
You know, we don't
Yeah.
want to do it anymore.
Maybe we call
We
you
never
call in
wanna
on the
sing ever
communicator.
again.
It's like, what's
Yeah.
going on down there? And we sing something.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are singing?
Yeah,
Hold on. I'll be right there.
Yeah,
Quick.
exactly,
Sorry, Nermit.
exactly. Like he can be tortured in real time. So,
The most pain inflicted is what we want.
yeah, sure. So, we'll do a
Great.
Quick act.
So
one.
yeah, let's do the act. Let's do the act one.
Hey, hey, Dar, Papa, Captain Dar, Papa.
Yeah. Wait, what is it?
I'm not the captain anymore, but I'll respond.
Oh, right. You're not. Yeah, because C-50, Mr. Robot Man is now lead envoy, but I still call you Captain. Is that all right? Or
Yeah,
It's
now
just
it's sort of an honorific.
salt in an open wound, but fine.
yeah, I mean, I just kind of wish things were kind of back. I mean, I guess everything's fine and we're sort of going on missions, but I miss Zix. Am I crazy?
Yeah, AJ, we all miss Zix, but I think we sort of established we're lifetimes away from the Zix quadrant. I think we just got to make the best of what we've got, you know?
I'm having a great time.
Oh, Bargy.
What?
Yeah. Turns out I'm the only ship here who can talk, so people are very interested in talking to me. I have 7 interviewers lined up outside.
Oh, what? Interviewers?
Yeah. I'm
So
doing
Lined
a
up-
roundtable discussion right now.
Lined up outside.
Yeah, they're outside. They're in their non-sentient ships.
Oh, yeah, I can see them out the side of the
Speaking
window.
to me in the
cool.
loudspeakers, asking me very personal questions. Very interested. Lots of lights going off for photography. You guys are in the photos. I didn't tell you, but your image will be used.
Okay, that's fine.
I guess.
I mean, I basically don't have an identity in this new galaxy, so.
Yeah, I thought
Like
that would be
ball
fun
blue.
too. Yeah, I thought that would be fun to have blank slates and just be like, yeah, we can do whatever, you know? Like,
Yeah, I thought it would be great to have blank slates, you know, being in this new world and to be like, I'll do whatever.
is she talking to me or to the interviewer?
She's just
That's a
saying what
great
you just
question.
said. Oh, wow.
I just miss Zix. I don't know. I mean, the missions here are fine, but everything's a little too clean and everything's a little too nice. You know
Well,
what I
you
mean?
know, AJ, I think sometimes.
I get what you're saying, Adrian.
Thank you, Captain. Sorry, Envoy Dar.
Can you move the crew from away from the window for these photos, please?
You want us to hide?
This shoot is about how the spaceship is alive, and if we see these ugly people in the window,
Okay.
Yeah, I can just bounce them to another direction.
Whoa!
I was like,
oh, perfect.
But Bargy, not me.
Thank
Surely
you.
not me. They said the ugly.
Thank you.
No,
oh, Darcy,
Sentient.
you're still by the window.
Beep boop beep. Beep boop beep.
wait. Where's
Beep boop beep. Beep,
Where's
boop, beep.
Robot Man?
Yeah, see? Are you going to get that?
Robot Man!
Yeah.
Robot Man!
AJ, relax. He's
Robot Man!
AJ. He doesn't need.
He's around here somewhere. He'll answer
He gets
the call.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is he though?
AJ. The ship
Normally when we do these missions, he's Robot Man!
AJ. How does your helmet speaker even get that loud? How is that possible?
Sometimes when I have to do crowd control, I'm at its own crowd control setting now.
Okay, all right.
Normally it's like, you know,
yeah. No,
obey us,
right.
surrender your will to us.
Yeah.
Or no
Is
one
someone
gets
gonna
hurt.
get that?
Yeah.
It's gonna go to voicemail if no one gets that.
I feel it's like
Yeah, he's got
I
the
keep-
whole thing where he says Nermit's title.
and
I just-
honestly, if I answered, it just feels like I'm trying to reclaim something that I don't even know that
Is
I
it
liked in
just
the first
buttons?
place.
Is that all I have?
Can we-
Robot Man!
Can we hear Bargy's voicemail message?
Beep. Hello? Hi, yes, this is Baji's voicemail, the Bajarian J Hollow Starship of the Stars. I'm currently lost in space, so I cannot answer your phone call. Jakk, if this is you, don't be a coward. You know what you did.
Chris's character's named Jakk. We should have a different name.
Or son of Jack.
Oh, wow.
Son of Jakk.
Delone, if this is you, don't be a coward. Do something, okay? All right, Baji out.
Oh wow! Hey everyone, it's Nermit. I guess someone's always picked up. I didn't know. So
Bargy, can you actually pick up the call?
I guess call me
Hold
back
on.
if you get this. Or hello.
If you don't mind, I have to do my job now because I am a sentient spaceship. Oh, I don't need applause. Thank you. I know, I am.
We supposed
Hello?
to
Thank you. Okay, I'm going back to my job.
Check one. Hello.
They love
check,
me so
check,
much.
Check.
Oh, hey,
Picking
Nermit.
up.
Oh, hey.
Thank you, Bargy.
What's
happening?
Hey, sorry we didn't pick up we thought C-53 was going to pick it up, so
Oh no,
we never did.
he's not there.
Oh, is he back with you?
No, he's well. That's kind of the thing. Is he's on a mission.
What?
Wait, we're not on a mission.
What?
We're waiting for a mission.
Right. I'll give you a mission momentarily, and that mission is related to the solo mission that C-53 went on.
What a solo mission?
Wait.
What are you talking
Stop.
Hold on.
What?
No, Dar, stop. You're squeezing my arm hard.
It's just so much change, you know? I don't understand.
Yeah. Where is C-53, Nermit?
Well, you're going to find out because your mission is going to be to rescue him. But he, as lead envoy, he sometimes goes
Nermit!
on. Yes.
Nermit, we're a crew. We're a team. What is going on? If C-53 is in danger, it's probably because we weren't with him.
He might still be on the ship.
Right, AJ!
He's not.
I can't. My ears cannot handle any more of that.
How long has this been going on?
This particular mission, let's see, he left.
No.
Yeah.
Solo
How many of these
missions.
solo missions has C-53 gone on? He just left.
Yeah, why did he just walk away?
He left the phone call.
Nermit, get back on
Nermit,
screen.
get back on the screen.
Nermit, get back on screen and quit being a coward.
Okay. So he has gone on 6 of these. They've all gone well.
6?
Yes, he's gone on 6 solo missions.
We haven't
It's
even gone
fine.
on 6 team missions.
Oh, I figured we're kind of. Is that too many?
No.
No, it's
Honestly,
great.
it should be
We haven't gone on
more.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
way
he's-
too many.
All right. Yeah.
We've only been here for a couple weeks.
Well, I mean, you guys are when you guys are chilling out or whatever. He's lead envoy.
Chilling out? Do you mean like when we're asleep?
Yeah. Chilling.
Yeah, I mean,
Unconscious.
we need our downtime. I mean, you can't just always be...
Nermit,
Yes.
C-53 is in trouble. What is where did he go? We need to save him.
Okay. Well, you're upset. You guys are you're so obsessed
Does he have
about
like a
going on
blaster
missions.
or something with him when he does these missions? Or he has any muscle? Or
No, it's
Oh,
an
that's a good
envoy.
question. Does he get
Thank you.
weapons?
Does he get weapons?
No, he doesn't. No, these are diplomatic missions.
Oh, well, these
And-
are base. That's like not a mission then. If there's not guns, it's not a
AJ.
mission. What?
Nermit.
Yes.
Where is C-53?
Okay, C-53 has. Chris, does this? Did you have a name, planet name, or? What
Oh
was-
no, just pick something.
What is the one in? Is there? Should we play off the
Oh.
Star Trek one? Is that a planet?
What is the name of that planet?
Could actually the
mean-
name of this planet just be the NBC ringtone? Like bing,
Bang, bang, bang.
I think that tips it.
Why don't you call it Miranda?
Miranda?
I think we might have had
Planet Miranda.
Did you have one called Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Well, if you wanted to do NBC, I think it's GAC or the notes, so it could be Planet Gak. Bing, bing, bing.
GAC?
I thought it was GAC.
Planet
but
GAC.
I
GAC3.
don't know. Are there other?
Maybe I'm wrong.
The planet
Yeah.
in the episode is El
Maybe G-E-C.
Hydrel.
Is that what you mean?
What is it?
GEC.
Shane?
Jack.
Eladrel.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because it's the GE Corporation. GEC?
Wow, really?
Was it
Yeah.
always?
No, it wasn't always opened by GE.
Sorry,
Yeah,
it could be any series of chords,
I think
honestly.
GEC3 because Chris said that it's a third planet in the system.
Yeah.
Cool.
So C-53 was sent on a solo mission to GEC3.
No, it's C-53.
Now you know that? You just literally yelled Robot Man. Don't do it.
GEC3, that barely sounds like a planet. Is there a civilization there?
Well, it's funny you should ask. There was. So the only one there now is Shai'An, son of Jakk, who C-53 was sent to make contact with to figure out why everyone else is missing.
Plek, you're asking all the wrong questions.
What?
I want to know what makes C-53 better than all of us.
Dar, no, Dar.
Well,
we're a
he
team.
Has a cube with sentience.
Is it because he sweats now? Is that because I
if
don't
anything
sweat?
is a deficit.
Nermit,
Yes.
Nermit, I just want to recap.
Sure.
You sent C-53
Yes.
on his own
Yeah.
to a planet
GEC.
where the only thing we know about it is that people have disappeared from it.
Right.
Because you think he's better than us.
Well, sure, that's sort of beside the point.
Yeah. That's right.
And
that's
now
pretty good-
you're
pretty good
surprised that he's gone, and you want us to go
I
help
knew
find
he
him.
was gone. I'm calling to tell you he's gone.
Maybe you should just find another C-53 to go on a solo mission to save him.
Dar.
There are none others. We would have.
Dar.
We're not even your first choice for saving him.
Yeah, you had a
You
hypothetical.
You tried to send another team to save C-53?
I did.
See, now you're asking the right questions, Plek.
Okay,
Oh,
a couple.
boy, Nermit.
There were some them that were maybe going to go and they weren't available, but you guys are currently the number one choice. Okay.
All right, we're number one. Let's do this.
If you guys are okay, if you all are so obsessed with
Currently
togetherness
number one.
and being together as a crew with C-53, well, great. Your mission is to rescue him.
Makes sense
I don't
to
like
me.
this. I don't like this, Nermit.
I
We're going to go save him, but it's because we're his best friends and we're the best crew, not because it's our mission.
Hey, here's a question. When we get down there, should we call for him or something?
No, I think we could just look with our eyes first.
We don't
and
need
see
to
how that goes.
say anything.
Nah, we
Okay.
certainly don't need to scream anything.
All right.
All right. Nermit, send us the coordinates, and then I want you to go sit in the corner of that big old office building and have a think about being better.
How you treated us today.
Yeah.
Okay, here are the coordinates, and I'm going to sit in exactly the center of this giant office.
Okay.
No corners for this lurd.
Okay.
This feels like a good setup also for the fact that we don't invite Nermit to sing.
Yeah, I think it's
So like
payback,
season one nerd.
Was
Yeah,
a
you're real.
dick.
Yeah, real asshole.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
yeah.
I like it though.
Okay.
Great. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Surgical.
Thanks, guys, for indulging us on that.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All right. So,
Now, do we arrive on the scene or?
sure. This is GEC3. I mean, there's nothing on this planet.
Yeah. Do you want me to shout?
No.
Okay.
Can we just wait? Just wait and see what
It's
happens.
fine.
I mean, who knows? AJ, for all we know, C-53 might be in trouble. We might not want to give our position away.
So this is where he goes to be alone.
I don't think so. Dar, I think C-53 might be in real trouble. We need to help him.
Do you guys hear that? It's kind of like a lilting, kind of delicate melody.
Yeah.
I do.
Or a little kind of.
It's sort of.
almost-
Is it coming from that little oasis over there?
I don't know. In my training, we would call this a vamp. But I'm not sure.
What training? What training would you?
Well, in tactical footwork and
Yeah.
when I was in Clint Sink, we would call this a vamp.
Yeah. When you were.
I served a tour of duty with Clint Sink.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think that's just a regular tour. I think you toured with them.
Yeah, we called it a tour of duty.
Are you both just gonna talk over the vamp or what?
Well, that's what you do. You talk over a vamp.
Yeah. You sort of lay out what's going
Yeah,
on.
exactly. It's like there's the oasis.
Yeah.
We should follow it.
Can you be
Pebbles in the sun.
What's that?
2 pebbles in the water, the rings echoing out to the edge of the pond by the 2 pebbles, bonded forever.
And life,
C53.
it blooms all around them. Those 2 pebbles surrounded by green, by life. A lush verdant wave of life.
C53.
Oh,
That was. Can we have that song end with you guys hitting a harmony note and one more thing?
sure.
And with that life again.
Yeah. A lush. Wait a minute. A verdant wave of life.
Can we do one more run at that?
A lush verdant wave of life.
Whoa.
Yeah.
C53. When you hit that last note, a palm tree just popped out of the ground.
Also, it was just artistry. It was just very.
Yeah,
It brought us into the song.
I mean, I've never seen C53 sing like that before.
Dar, why
are
are you
you
squeezing
hiding
my
that
arm?
from us?
Why are you
Why are you
squeezing my
hiding
arm
that from
again?
us?
It really hurts when you squeeze it that hard.
Strangers at the barricade. Strangers at the barricade.
Oh no!
Strangers at the barricade. Who are they? Who are they?
Shai'An,
What?
be not afraid of these strangers at the barricade. These are my friends, and they have come to help you and I.
Listen, the alien doesn't have hands, so I feel like I could take him.
No, just stop. No, okay, this is fine. We don't need to.
It's not.
No, I don't think it's that. C53. Is everything okay? What happened here?
Yes, Envoy Dexeter. This is Shai'An, son of Jakk, but maybe I should put it a little differently.
What? Why would you?
Just explain.
Wait, why?
what
Yeah,
What?
just tell us.
2 pebbles soaking up the sun.
This is a song you
2
did before.
pebbles laughing, having fun.
Papa, is this a
Have you ever seen him do this before? What?
No.
They only want more, but now they're on 2 pebbles. 'Cause here are 4 more.
Was this rehearsed?
Yeah, it feels right.
6 pebbles in the sun.
And there'll be many more pebbles before we're done.
Wow.
Wow.
And this pebble looks like this pebble used to be in charge, but is no longer in charge.
Oh, wow. He nailed you, Dar.
I think it's just a
And
song.
this pebble is thinking of days gone by
No.
when he used to sing with other guys.
Hey, that's me, I think.
And
You
this
guys gonna do
pebble-
one about me as a pebble, or?
No, there's also another pebble
Oh, come on!
that looks like any old pebble.
Oh, what?
Sort of a generic looking pebble.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, they're really nailing you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the 4th one would have to be Bargy.
Bar
Yeah.
is the fourth one, yeah.
And a giant pebble way up in the sky.
What?
Bargy, I'm patching you in. Are you hearing this?
What is this sound? I don't like it.
No, Bargy, it's music. It's music. C53 has discovered a society that communicates solely through song.
Yeah, it's
And
like
honestly, really well choreographed dance. Again, did you guys rehearse this? Or did you all rehearse this
no, I-
before? Or
yeah.
It's just
Dar, I think it's something about the planet itself. It just, I don't know, it feels right on this planet. And...
Where's the music coming from?
oh,
Okay, all right, okay, let's... Okay, everyone, get it out. All right.
It's fused. It's fused.
fused.
And somehow the keyboard's fused on it. And it's like a double fuse.
Yeah. It's a two fuse.
And it
yeah.
looks like a cheesy necktie.
It looks like a neck.
Hey, come on! Don't kick a fused thing while it's fused.
Don't kick a
that's-
fused thing while it's fused.
That's
That's
right,
what
thank
my
you.
mama said to me when I was born. Don't kick a fused thing.
Are we gonna ignore that it was fused to him?
I am Cheyenne, son of Jack.
Sorry to interject. Is Eric Jack? Is that too much?
Sure.
That's very weird.
Maybe not. Maybe we can reveal that later.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So maybe now the next thing is that in order to grow the planet, we need to participate, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
harmony is the way. This is a great chance for like a story song where we like tell the history of the
yeah.
planet and let Chris and
we
Eric
can do that.
kind of figure out like the history of this planet and if they are the two species that they got fused or that's just normal.
I think we should do that.
Yeah,
as a
I
rap.
said before I don't.
Oh
I said before I don't sing, but can that be like edited out if that negates?
no! I
it's
think
absolutely.
I think it's. I think if the key to growing the society back is harmony, you can talk, but you just don't. You're like, no, I don't. Not interested, or something like that. Like it had to be someone to come in and sing with him to start everything back up again.
Yeah, or it could be like I don't anymore because of what happened.
Not after what happened.
After the
Not
incident.
after what? Not after the incident.
Save it for the improv.
Yeah.
Am I right, guys?
Okay, great.
All right.
C-53. This is amazing. How did you? I guess.
It's certainly an extremely unique planet. I don't think I've ever encountered anything quite like it.
What happened here? Did you find out what happened to all of the rest of the people on the planet?
I wish I could say that I did,
Why is he doing this?
but I think the past of this planet is still hid.
It did.
And only Cheyenne
Why does he-
has the
doesn't-
key to relate the history to you and me.
Well, if you want to hear the story about GEC, listen to a story told by me. I'm going to tell you a little bit of rap
Whoa,
and how
history
rap
is
works
cool.
on this planet. Yeah, here's the
Oh, he
history.
turned his hat backwards.
You heard it never be a mystery.
What?
And here's one thing about rhyme. I like to do it all the time.
Okay, makes sense.
It's a history rap.
What's your name?
history
History
rap.
rap.
It's the history rap.
Oh, so he can rap, but he can't
Yeah.
sing.
Let me tell
rapping's
you
not
something
singing,
about
it's
the
related.
way that rap works on this planet. You don't have to think it up. You got to just plan it. And the only way that things rhyme is you say the word rap at the end of every line. And that's what things mean when they rhyme.
Rap.
Rap.
A long time ago, there were millions of people on this planet. Rap. And you know, someone came and killed everyone except me. Rap. Except for me and my dad, who's in my body now. Rap.
Rap. That's right.
And
Reveal.
he plays piano on what was
I'm-
formerly a necktie. Rap.
I'm Jack. That's the reveal. I'm
What's Jack?
What? Twist?
That's too
right.
close.
Wait,
You two are
hold
too
on.
close. No.
Hey, what's your name, man?
I'm Jack.
Wait,
You're Jack?
I'm Jack.
You're
This is my son.
As in father
Cheyenne,
of,
son of-
son of Jack?
Cheyenne,
Yes.
son of Jack?
Yes. Yes. The reveal has been revealed.
I mean,
And that's the history of rap.
And that's the history of rap.
that's a history of rap.
No, that's the history of rap.
I thought it was the history of the
it's the
planet.
history rap.
Oh, it's a history
Not the
of
history
rap.
of rap.
Okay.
It's the history of our planet, rap.
Okay, so history,
history
of
of-
Gotcha.
dot,
Parentheses.
rap.
Gotcha,
Okay.
gotcha.
Yeah, I guess I just need to see the, album cover to really figure out
I mean,
that.
everybody's saying
knowing.
it's great, but I'm not sure it is. Like, I don't quite follow it. Sorry, that's a matter.
We could do it again for you. Do you want us to do
it's
the
all right.
history
No,
of
no.
rap? Oh, we could
No,
do
that
it.
was a Hamilton burn. I don't know. Never mind.
Great.
That was fun.
Yeah, Jack, Cheyenne, that's terrible what happened to your planet. I'm so sorry. But
Things are growing back. How are things growing back?
Harmony. It's harmony. Harmony's the end. I can talk. That's where we've.
Okay.
Wait, harmony? What do you mean?
No, that is unison.
that's unison. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Good
Oh
point.
no! Some of the trees are going back.
No.
Wait, harmony. Yeah, I was trained in harmony.
You trained in harmony?
Yeah.
You took singing lessons.
No, I was trained in harmony. I was trained in tactical footwork, harmony, and smoldering looks.
That's I don't.
No, but what do you think about this?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That was a real smolder.
Clint Sink.
It's a different galaxy. You wouldn't have heard of them.
Fuck.
I wish you could have, though. I wish you could have.
I mean,
Well,
he could have made it over.
I don't know.
I think that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think
that would be a big.
yeah,
that would be
Anyway,
very
big a
funny.
bite. Okay.
Sorry, we can cut
no,
that.
that's-
But like,
that's-
AJ knows tactical footwork and harmony.
And smoldering looks. Oh,
But then when he does harmony, then
yeah.
something grows.
Yeah.
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 What just grew?
Oh, an animal appeared. Whoa, like a bush and an animal appeared just now.
This field is starting to grow. The harmony grows things on this planet.
Yeah, you have to sing it.
Unison, destroy.
Wait, sorry, what?
Long time ago.
Oh, he's still singing. It's still song.
A god came down, made us sing the same note. No harmony, unison. Murdered my family.
Metaphor. What's going on?
Oh, I think this actually happened.
Okay.
Except my father.
It's the guy in the piano, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ballad.
Oh, you gotta say it with
okay.
every genre. Great. Okay, yeah, good.
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Yep. Sure.
Is it okay to have God in this galaxy? Or should we?
He said a god,
He was he was like who's the guy that eats planets?
like Galactus.
Galactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
I think it's okay. What do you think?
I think it's okay.
A deity? Do you want to pick it up with the deity? We've got a whole thing about calling God Rod in our universe.
But it is also the other galaxy, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
let's get an alt with just
deity.
with deity or something else,
or powerful.
yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you want.
A long time ago, there were millions of my family on GEC.
Just a reprise.
And then a powerful
Did he say millions?
deity
yeah.
came and made us sing the same note. And we died without our harmony. Ballad.
How did they make you sing the same note? Like they controlled you, or they asked you, or
You're
what?
asking Cheyenne to relive a genocide on this planet for the sake of getting the details right?
That doesn't really matter.
Same sheet music.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
yes.
See, it was a simple answer. Honestly, I just feel like everyone's been asking the wrong questions
I don't.
today.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Dar, what question would you ask?
well, I mean,
How they got fused together.
No, but ask it in their language.
I
Dar.
thought, wouldn't you ask also why C's on a mission?
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Actually, that's much more accurate. Sorry, it's yeah. I have a question. Oh,
Yeah.
Come on.
oh God,
You can wrap it.
it's for you, C.
Do you need help learning to sing? What? What's wrong? What? I can help you.
Rod, every
can
time
help
he
you.
comes out, it's just gross.
I can help you.
Hold on a second. I have a question for Shai'An, son of Jakk, and Jakk. If Harmony,
Father of Shai'An.
if Harmony rebuilds your planet, why can't you just sing Harmony? There's two of you.
I
Always same note.
we can't. Because of our genetics
Oh,
and the fact that we're fused,
Yeah,
we
that's
can no longer
okay, yeah.
Can't
harmonize.
sing different notes. Oh, that's a shame.
And because we were in unison, the plants just went down.
no.
We just killed the whole planet.
These crops immediately withered.
Dar, do you want me to ask the question to see on your behalf?
Yeah, that would be incredibly helpful, actually.
Okay. What is it? What's the
Well,
question?
Can I like feed it to you line by
Yeah,
line?
you can feed it to me line by line.
Well, I really want to ask C.
Oh, what I really want to know. Oh, what I really want to know is this. Okay,
Why'd
what?
you have to go?
What am I gonna rhyme? Oh, got it. Oh, why'd you just have to go? Why'd you just have to go?
And do it all alone.
How am I gonna rhyme? Oh, okay, got it. And do it all alone.
I kind of thought like we were your
Oh, sorry.
home.
I'm still kind of. I'm still
Sorry?
going. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay. What was the next one?
I thought we were your home.
I thought that we were your
You're just really making a meal of these runs.
Plus, Dar could just ask me the question. I don't need to sing to hear what Dar is saying.
He is leader.
No.
No.
Who? AJ? No. Rod, no.
He's-
No.
Leader.
I got my finger up and everything.
Does that help? Does that
Helps
help?
a lot, actually. You hold one side of your helmet and you put your finger up. And you're like,
Wow, look at all the flowers. Birds.
What are the
Well, someone else has to be singing with him.
yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Those are-
are the flowers start looking really weird? Like they're exciting, but then they're like, oh no.
Oh no, God.
This is great, man.
That might be the first time that's been said of AJ.
Listen, there's one thing I know about harmony. Sure, 2 is good, but more is better. We're gonna have to build a chord.
Guys,
We're gonna have to build a chord.
I mean, I was
We're
gonna
gonna build a chord.
All right, okay, AJ. That's
I was gonna say this. Actually, we did do this in the trailer. Of like, there's only one thing that we have to put on the show.
There's only one thing we have to do. We can put on a show. We can do it here. We've got the costumes.
No, we don't need costumes,
Oh,
AJ.
okay.
AJ.
No,
That's,
but what we need is a chord.
we do need a chord.
Shai'An, son of Jakk, and I mean, do I need to talk to Jakk? I'm a little nervous right now.
What? Did you say my name?
Ah,
My
no.
name's Jack.
He's fine. Don't
You do
make
need
it weird,
to
and
sing
he's
to
fine.
them, though.
We need to start. I think. Wait, hold on. I need a Jakk. Can you give me a question?
Can I give you a question?
Just give me the music for a question to Shai'An. Shai'an, can we build a chord? Would that help you?
If all the children in the world
What?
came together in a village and held the hands of each other, then we'd be holding the hands of each other, even though we don't have hands. We'd grow and grow.
Yeah, AJ, their language is highly metaphorical.
Yeah, what
so-
the juck is he talking about?
Okay, he's agreeing with you. He's saying we should come together and make a chord. It would, we'd be
Join
building
hands
something.
and sing
Well,
something.
he doesn't have hands. It's a metaphor.
Well, should we join hands, or is that sort of
I don't know that needs to be part of it.
Too literal, right?
okay? All right,
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah,
Also, my hands are kind of clammy, so
yeah,
it's
that's
just-
gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I hate it. Why is this a feature?
It's not
a feature, not a bug.
It's a bug.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway,
So we got to build a chord.
All right. Well, I can lay down a foundation here. Start with something like,
Whoa, look. I think we need a bargee line in there, too.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah, bargee.
Bargee, I'm patching you in.
Oh,
You're missing.
sorry.
I don't want you to miss this.
Do you mean you need a bargee like, nah? Yeah.
Okay. It's working. Look, a waterfall. The mountain's flush with greenery. We can do it. We got to keep going.
Need one more.
Bargee, weren't you
What?
in a bunch of musicals at some point? Musical hollows?
Yeah, it was a dark period of my life. I don't like
Right.
to talk about
I mean,
it.
to
or-
be honest,
or do
Bargee, you're
anything
always
that
getting us to
reminds me of
sing.
it.
So
Yeah, bargee. To be fair, you love it when we sing.
Bargee,
do.
we need that voice. We need that voice that's famous for, what's a good name of a bargee musical?
The barging away.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We need the voice that was famous for the barging away.
Bargie's going away.
Wow.
Bargie's going away,
Whoa.
and she's never coming back. She's going away. 'Cause she's Bargie, the sentient ship.
A classic.
Toot, toot, toot. A toot, toot, toot. Oh. Yeah, the song was very short.
Wow, that was pretty good, bargee.
Whoa.
Toot, toot.
Like that small ocean appeared when you did that.
Wow. Look at that body of water.
Wait, so it's not when there's harmony necessarily? Now we're kind of calling it
I
out
don't
for
know.
the
It's sort of
It's just getting willy-nilly.
it's
That's
sort
fine.
of
And what
flex.
should we call out? Dar was not in harmony, right?
Yeah.
Singing in harmony. Is that true? Or
Right.
Dar, the only
Okay.
person who's not singing is
Dar, listen, I know you're not captain anymore, but
And they smashed their horn.
and you smashed your horn.
This is maybe a sea line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, Dar, I know you're not captain anymore, and that I was sort of made leave envoy almost arbitrarily, but you're still a member of this crew, and we need you.
Arbitrarily?
I mean, from the viewpoint of them. I mean, I don't know why they would pick me over anyone else. I was in a toaster at the time.
Feels like there's a lot of motion. You gotta let it
So
out.
you don't think you're hot stuff?
Dar, I'm no better envoy than anyone else on this crew.
It's a classic band.
I just frequently, don't need to sleep and eat as much, and I have a lot of advantages as a, tireless automaton.
Do you want to acknowledge that you needed rescuing at this particular moment?
Yeah. I have a lot of advantages as a tireless automaton, but Dar, I still needed to be rescued. If the crew hadn't come here, if you hadn't come here, I'd be all alone, wondering when I could come home. Why did I leave when you were the ones I need? Dar, Plek, and even AJ2. C-53 still needs his crew.
A collection of pebbles in the sun, and one pebble's clearly better than the other one.
No, they're all just good pebbles.
One pebble sent on its own because it's so much better than the other ones.
Don't you see? We're all just pebbles on the shore. No need for one to be considered any more than the rest.
But the others were sent to make them feel better.
He's right.
He's got a point. Yeah, he's got a point.
Okay, all right.
He's not wrong.
I still need all of you. I need all your help.
Dar,
All we need is one note from you.
Yeah, and not only can we save C-53, we can build back this planet. We can give Shai'An and Jakk their world back.
So will you do it? And also, Bargy, will you also? I know you did kind of just a little.
Yeah, a little ditty, but you gotta
What?
get in on this
we gotta
chord.
get you to get on the chord.
Archie, I think this genre is called a duet.
Oh no! I mean,
Okay, we thought it was going to be a chord, but that's fine.
1, 2, 3, go.
Baji. Baji.
Da and Dodgy. Da and Baji. Together.
It's Dodgy.
Oh, that we gotta start over. Sorry, we gotta get on the
Maybe
same
we should
page
just build the chord. Is that
Maybe.
Wait.
what Cheyenne?
Wait, Cheyenne.
These two are singing scripture.
I'm holding up a rock with those lyrics on it.
Look,
Bargy
Cheyenne,
and
where
Dar?
did you get that? Bargy and Dar, it's on some sort of ancient scroll. Or sorry, it's on some sort of ancient tablet.
this is how we rebuild.
Wow.
With Bargy and
Chord
Dar
now.
singing a jaunty duet.
With not with a chord, Cheyenne?
Chord is for tree, chord animal, chord grass, but chord no people. Duet for my dead children.
Okay, just point of clarification. Do they come back or are they different people this time?
Come back.
Your children come back.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, this,
Wow.
I mean,
Famously, the two horn dogs can raise the dead.
Yeah, wow.
Well, Da, I think we've been, except for our misstep, I think we've been rehearsing for this all our lives. Okay, babe,
Wow,
you
this
go
is
first
the song
this
that's
time.
going to bring all their people back.
Dark.
Baji. Baji and
Dark.
It did it!
Whoa!
Father!
We have a song of the children appearing.
Father! Father, we have come back. We've missed you so much. Daddy.
And your granddaddy.
okay, even his own grandchildren are kind of grossed out by him.
This is the song of the children.
The song of the children.
Song of the children. Song of the children. Song of the children.
We've
Daddy.
Daddy.
Kiss your zombie children.
We are the children.
Daddy, I was in a void, floating in an endless void. I wondered, am I dead? Are my siblings dead? Is my daddy dead? Is my creepy grandfather dead?
Saying dead a lot.
But now we're back on our planet. And the answer to that question is really still sort of up in the air. Uncertain. But we're here.
And we have the memories of the horrific things that happened to us when we were put away. We'll never forget all those days. All the memories will shape us for the rest of our lives. Memories.
Midnight. Not a sound on the pavement.
Oh, this is
Yeah, it's pretty catchy.
pretty good.
Oh, that one really.
Yeah. All these
They
kids
sounded happier then.
Yeah, all those kids singing about their trauma. It's pretty good.
Yeah, turns out.
Pretty good.
Wait, something's happening to me.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Something's happening. I'm transforming.
Cheyenne, Jakk.
They're becoming weirder looking.
Oh no.
Oh, I sort of thought they would separate and become their own people, but
Yeah, now they're just kind of half in, half out. It's even worse.
yes.
Is that what it was? Is that what was supposed to happen, or is that?
We enter final form, piano ball.
Oh, yeah. It's just a big ball of keys.
Wow, and it plays by rolling on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh.
But there's also teeth, which makes it.
Yeah.
We have
Thank
been
you.
stuck in a state of arrested development all these many years. Our final form, not allowed to us.
We would not choose this form you have.
To be
Piano
honest,
ball.
I wouldn't choose this form either, but I take your point.
So piano ball is sort of ideal.
Is anybody else weirded out by the fact that it has teeth and like hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Yes.
have teeth and hair.
Yeah, but I'm not a piano ball.
And sustain pedal.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead. Is that
yeah.
you want to touch the sustain pedal?
I mean,
You can touch the sustain pedal.
Okay. all right.
Okay.
Can you guys sing a duet about being a piano ball?
Pretty good.
What walks in the morning with 4 legs? What walks with 2 legs in the afternoon?
What begins the end and ends the universe?
Piano ball.
Oh, they can harmonize with each other now.
Whoa, so much stuff is growing right now.
Rolling in the deep. Rolling in the deep.
They're in the water.
Oh yeah, they went in the water now, and now there's fish coming out.
Wow.
Thank you, 53rd C.
Thank you, Cheyenne, son of Jakk, and Jakk, father of Cheyenne. Do you have a new name now that you're a piano ball, or
No, we still have our.
still have your individual
You know,
names?
lose their identities. C-53.
Yeah. No, I don't know. But culturally, it might be different.
Thank you all. Perhaps one day we see you for a reprise.
Oh. Yeah,
What's that?
Maybe.
It's when you sing the same song. It's like the same song.
It's like you do it again, but the context
it's
has
a little
changed, so you
different.
sort of get more out of it. You know.
Should Nermit call and they're like, no, it's over, or should that be in Act 3?
Should we do one reprise? Is there any sort of one of the songs
boy.
that we did?
Do
like
you remember any of these songs?
It could be funny if AJ's like, it's like 2 pebbles, like.
Oh yeah, it's like
yeah.
And then talk about how the 2 pebbles have become 1 pebble, and now they're like piano ball.
Yeah, what if it's like, it's something like 2 pebbles and now 1 pebble and it's a gross piano ball. Something like that.
Oh, okay.
Great. This is great, man.
That's a reprise.
Oh yeah, okay.
Can we do one that's accompanied by Jakk on that
Well,
one?
maybe we can.
What's
maybe
the
we can
segue
do
into
one
this?
with.
Because can we get the glue that leads into this?
But we should probably do it. I want to do it. We should do it with Chris and.
With the 2 pebbles reprise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
it's like,
one-
when they repeat the song, something like, I don't know. What do you think, Cheyenne?
2 pebbles.
That's it. Yeah. 2 pebbles.
They become 1 pebble.
Gross piano ball.
Perfect piano ball.
That's the history. That's the history of rap.
Oh, wow.
That's the history of rap.
It's 2 pebbles.
That's the history of
But it's now
rap.
1 pebble.
3 suns
That's
setting.
the history
Insects on a leaf.
and that's the history of
Strangers at the barricade.
that's the history of history.
Do not be afraid.
Oh, and that's the history
Baji.
of history of rap.
Baji.
Yeah, and sometimes with the trees, they try to put too much
Darbarge.
Yeah, sometimes there's too many voices. and
Yeah,
it's
it kind of
just
gets
like-
too much.
This more end of Act 1.
What's gonna happen?
That's really funny. Great.
It's a pretty good end of Act 2.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh boy.
That's really funny stuff. I also like how, as much as Star Trek is derided for always just being humanoids, every 5th episode there is like an insane thing where there's like
It's like, it's a blob
sentient
man.
gas cloud. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
It's a crystal that lives.
It's like a sentient gas cloud that only knows the works of Shakespeare.
exactly.
And you're like, convenient.
We should call that out in the outro.
Yeah.
But
I feel like we should pick up Plex singing something.
okay. Yeah, what else do we need to cover? Like, what's another fun story beat to cover? Is there anything we want to do again, or
Well, Chris,
any
what
other
do you,
connective tissue? Yeah.
yeah, Chris, what is there anything you wanna do?
No, I have no idea.
Well, we
just
got
giving
the
you-
thing you wanted to do of turning into a giant piano ball.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. That's sort of what my blog is about. So if you could plug the blog in the middle.
Love blogs.
Happy to.
We know what happened to the planet, but we don't know what happened to these two, right? Do we want to talk about that?
At least
I think, yeah, because I don't think we, like,
why did they survive? I think
Yeah.
was-
So
well,
like,
also, we landed and we never said, like, we never, like, really cleared up, like, I'm sorry,
we are.
who are you? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's an old musical trope, right? Of like, allow me to introduce myself. You know, like, so maybe
My name is Humpty.
Yeah, yeah. That's a great song from Oklahoma. My name is Humpty.
So do you want to put something in sort of that would go after the rap to be
Yeah,
like
maybe. Right?
Sure.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Hey, Plex. Plex tends to ask the informational questions.
Yeah.
Well, then Plek can sing it to us.
You need to sing it. So if your planet was destroyed, how did you survive?
Plek, you can't just ask them the question. That's not their language. You've got to sing. See? It's easy.
Oh boy. Okay. This is hard.
It is. It's very, very
Like
hard.
needs to start at some point, right?
Yeah. I'm getting to it.
Who, what, where?
Yeah. I guess I'm trying to think of what I even need to ask. Your planet was destroyed. But how? Nope, we know how. Sorry.
Ask about why they're all
Eric,
fused
you gave me
together.
a really up-tempo. I was hoping
I can
for
change
a
it, yeah.
languid sort of...
Yeah, just tell them, like, Papa, ask them, like, what their deal is, why they're so gross looking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask them how, like, father and son can be that close, you know?
Two men on a planet. The only ones left alive.
Is this the question? What's going on?
But how? How? Did Shai'An and Jakk survive? Was it a bunker?
Eric, can you go back to the up-tempo? Yeah. Can you go back to the last up-tempo?
Oh.
I got 100 meat pies.
What?
I threw a lot of them in the oven. 99 meat pies, 98 meat pies into my hot oven. But the last 2 meat pies on me plate, they turned into 1 pie. And I don't even know how to ask the question why. Meat pies.
Oh, okay. No, I got it.
I think I understand now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I miss? What did I miss? I felt like
Papa, you don't understand what he said. He explained why they're fused together.
they.
I mean, you asked the question. I don't know why.
Okay, let me try again. Here on GEC3. Here on. Sorry. Here on GEC3. I can't believe my eyes. Can you explain to me? Did you guys used to be meat pies? 'Cause I feel like I almost got what you were saying. But then I got confused. Please tell me, how did Shai'An and Jakk get fused together?
Oh, he's a dumb one.
Okay,
This one's a dumb one. I can tell.
Well, you're right on the money. He's not very smart, but he's got some heart. And that's why we keep him around.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Okay, AJ.
Papa's not very bright,
Okay, all right.
but we keep him around.
So he is pet.
Well,
No, not really. I wouldn't say
no,
pet.
that's not fair. But
He does go on the rug sometimes.
kind of a mascot, really.
That happened once, and it was not.
An accident.
It was an
He
accident.
was scared. He was
It's
scared.
an accident. The gravity was off. I was very disoriented.
there were a lot of new people on the ship.
got
You didn't
surprised.
know, and
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, hey guys, we have reception again.
Oh,
Nermit.
wow.
Hey, crew. Hey, I was just wondering, did you find C-53? Have you asked?
We did actually. We're on a planet where we have to sing everything. It's really fun.
Excuse me?
We have to sing everything. Everything we talk about, everything we do, we have to sing it.
Say that.
See you later, Nermit.
Say that again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
okay,
no,
sure.
no.
Beat me down.
It's going all right.
Bet Nermit wishes he was a little nicer to us earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Robot Man. There's a lot of friction because we were all pretty surprised that you did missions without us.
Oh,
Should I say that to our friends?
Sure.
Mr. Robot Man abandoned us!
AJ, you can't sustain that. No.
This is great, man.
Mr. Robot Man!
AJ,
I think that was my favorite one.
AJ, I never intended to, act like I was going on missions without you. Ku was just sending me places. I was just trying to be helpful.
You didn't think to mention that you wanted us to come with you? Didn't you want our support?
Well, you were all asleep. It's like I go into a low power state for a couple hours. I'm fine.
AJ, we're your crew. Don't you understand it?
AJ?
I mean, C-53, we're your crew.
Doesn't
Man,
the-
you get into a Tellurian
thing
body
that
and all of a sudden everyone
we
looks
did
the same.
Where
huh?
AJ was singing on behalf of Dar fit in here?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah. That could cut. That could cut it.
Yeah. Can I just do a little pickup because Nermit was yelling "Beam me down," which made no
I
sense.
do love AJ's scream song.
Oh god. Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Should we re-get Nermit calling in? I feel like that should be in a song. I feel like we should all be singing, and you're like, "What is happening?"
yeah.
down there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we should start. Him calling should start a song, and then
I
yeah.
I
we
was
should
going
be
to say,
explaining it to Chris,
well,
and maybe Chris can talk to Nermit, and then we cut him out before he gets to.
Well, I was going to say, I think one of the things that I would like to get one more time is I feel like we didn't get a really nice moment of us making everything grow back. So
What if we have a sort of discovery song where we're all harmonizing and things are appearing, like a sort of victory song?
Yeah, that's smart.
And then Nermit can interrupt that.
Or maybe right when it's over, he calls it. We're like, oh yeah, we did it.
Just missed it. No, I think if he hears us singing, he's like, let me take a few bars. It's like, we got to go, Nermit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So sorry.
So
I know we're doing a lot of jumping around.
I think I could get us into the.
Okay,
great.
Sure.
Let's see if I. 53C. You sing. I sing. We create. But this one also, and this one, and you.
He's pointing at all of us. And he's pointing at Bargy.
You're saying we all need to sing.
The song brings us together. The song brings us together. We wave from side to side as the song brings us together.
So much has been wrong. So bad for so long. Apart, but together.
Because the song brings us together.
Together.
Song brings us together.
Together.
We wave from side to side. Because the song brings us together.
Together.
Song brings us together.
Ah.
Oh, wow, look! Water's springing forth from the ground. Flowers and birds.
A whole city bursting from nothingness.
Shai'An, you've got it. Shai'An, you've got it. We'll keep following you. The song will bring us together. And the world will be good too.
Everyone. Because the song brings us together.
Together.
The song brings us together.
Together.
Song brings us together. It brings us all
Wow. Beep boop boop beep boop boop beep boop boop. Oh wow. Hey, we get reception again. Nermit, hey, what's up, man?
Oh, hey, Plek, hey, crew. I was just wondering, did you find C-53? Did you
We
rescue
did.
him?
We
Yeah.
rescued him.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Nermit, I'm here. Yeah.
Hey, great.
Get this.
Yeah,
Nermit,
thanks for
this is
sending the
nuts.
crew.
This is a planet where everyone just sings everything.
Say what?
Yeah, like okay, there's this guy, Shai'An, his dad is in his chest, and he's got a piano, and he plays, and we all sang, and the more we sang, the planet grew back.
It was a true testament to the power
The song
of
brings
music.
us together. The song brings us together. The song brings us together.
Wait. Can we? So let's bet. Can we take it from the
finish.
top?
Yeah, we don't really have time right now.
We'll
No,
take it
it's
from the
really
top.
done.
And we'll,
Sorry,
I
Nermit.
got my
Sorry,
keyboard
Nermit.
right here.
Yeah, we'll call you back.
Up and down. Come on.
It's sort of hard to sync up if you're on the phone.
Okay, wait. I have an idea. Let's go back.
You're gonna,
No, wait.
no,
Let's
you're
do the
just
mission
gonna
again, and
fall
I'll
out.
come
We're
back.
not going to do this remotely.
Do the
Nermit.
mission again.
We're not going to do it remotely.
It would be insane if we did this remotely.
C-53! Let's do the mission again!
That's too loud. I think that's too loud.
How loud it is.
That almost, that pretty much did it. That's pretty much what I had in mind.
Yeah, great.
Great.
Anything
Do
else
you
for-
need a connector now, though, to the duet? If we just rebuilt the city, but we still need to put the people back into
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wow. Yes, I can get us in there. Shai'An, GEC3 is beautiful. I had no idea. But didn't you say there were millions of you?
Harmony for buildings, for grass, for satellite dish. Harmony not for people.
What brings back people?
Two become one.
You talking about making out or?
Plek, how would... Have you seen how this planet works? Does that make any sense?
Oh,
to
I
you?
don't know.
Can you say? Are you talking about lovering?
Yeah, are you talking about like lovering or something?
Plek.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm out of my depth.
I'm
probably.
pretty
Yeah.
sure it's musical.
Okay. All right.
He's talking about a duet.
Oh. A duet.
Between who?
That should cut in with what we have, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Hope so.
Yeah, we'll be able
We'll
to
massage it.
massage it.
Is there something, I was going to say, it's on the tablet or the rock. I was going to say, is there something where it's like, what?
With Bargy and Dar.
Well, I was going to say, it could
like
be
they
like
were singing
the largest pebbles or something like that. Because Dar and Bargy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how about Winston, you just asked who, right?
Yeah, but who? Like a duet.
But
Two pebble, largest pebble, and formerly in charge pebble.
that can't be. What,
How very specific.
That's really particular. So
that's
that can't be
Bargy.
me.
is that the?
Yeah.
And I guess. Oh, it's you, Dar, because you were in charge and now you're not anymore.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you get to sing. Fun.
Great, and then that cuts in with the jaunty Dar and Bargy.
Yeah, that real jaunty, perfect Dar and Bargy song. We hachi machi.
Machi. Wow, this is gonna be a fun one to edit.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. This is going to be awesome.
This is so much
Guys,
fun. Thanks,
fans
guys.
are going to go bonkers for this. I'm so glad both of you guys could do it. This is tremendous.
Yeah, thank you guys. And Eric, thanks for doing it last minute.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Nice to
thanks.
see you. Nice to see everyone.
I know.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, folks. That was the recording of episode 507. At least everything but Act 3, which we recorded later. I really encourage you all to go back and re-listen to that episode, having heard not only the raw recording, but also particularly what Shane puts into it. And I guess you maybe heard a couple things I cut out of it.
Yeah.
And then after you do that, I encourage you to then go back to this episode and listen to it again.
Listen to this in an
Continue doing
endless
that ad
recursive
infinitum.
loop.
I mean, I really do think that this
Certainly for 2
episode-
weeks until 510 comes out. You should do that.
I think
in a
that
loop.
hearing this episode before and after being mixed really gave me such an appreciation for not only what Shane does in general and what he did specifically in this episode, but also what great guests we had, like how on
my
point
gosh.
Eric and Chris were, and how game everybody in the core cast was to do something that a lot of us didn't have a lot of experience with. It was super fun. This was
It's
a really special
ludicrous
episode.
that this episode worked at all, let alone was like a massive favorite of the audience. So
If the last 100 minutes has not slaked your thirst for BTS content, strap in, because we are going to chat a little bit now about how this episode came together, as well as generally how we make the show. And so let's get started with that.
And I think it'd be fun to talk about just how the episode concept came together too, because
Totally.
that was even before the recording started.
Yeah, in my memory, it was pretty last minute, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was the day of the recording. Yeah.
Do you happen to have Chris's original pitches?
Yes.
So before we record anything, we agree on a guest who we'd like to book, and then they agree they'd like to be on the show. And we ask them. Ideally, they say yes. We hate to force people. When it's not voluntary, you can always hear it. And we ask the guests to pitch character ideas. I feel like it keeps the show fresh for us, where we're not trying to decide who anyone's playing, and they come in with ideas we would have never thought of.
So should I read Chris's pitches? These were Chris's pitches that he sent. Bob, a man that lives disjointed from time, able to move back and forth a la Tenet, who isn't quite clear on how time travel rules work, and maybe it's all bullshit, which is a great pitch.
But we all know who put the kibosh on that one.
Yeah, but we all know which cast member said no more time travel bullshit.
No
Just
timey-wimey.
forwarded a copy of his rider.
Yeah, exactly. Second pitch was Doxid, a nomad from a reverse universe that is trying to get as far away from the XXYZ quadrant as possible, which is a great pitch, but also because we were in this
You're not
sort of
in
Star
Zix.
Trek
Oh yeah,
universe,
because we're not in Zix.
it would have been tough to pull off. Oddlio, a member of an alien species who can speak English but best expresses himself in sci-fi sound effects, like the equivalent of the Darmok at Tanagra dude from Star Trek. As you can see, that's the kernel of what we ended up choosing for him. Although he did add this, which I think is very funny. This will be a pain in the ass for your sound post-production guy, but could be fun, essentially pimping him into sound designing this character. That's very funny because the amount of pain in Shane's ass from this episode knows no bounds, I think.
Yeah.
But so that was sort of part of the thing. And the final pitch was Shai'An, a roving entertainer who likes to improvise songs and tries to get all of you to improvise songs with him with no apparent accompaniment, and also freestyle rap. And maybe his songs cause spell-like effects like a bard, ? Also a great pitch. We had been looking for a Darmok episode for a really long time, since we started season 5. And so we jumped on that. And then, of course, because Chris has such great experience in improvised musicals, we decided to combine those last two pitches and ask him to do a character who only speaks in song, like the Darmok dude. The rest is history, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, not the rest, because there was one big puzzle piece missing.
Yes. Accompaniment.
Yes.
One little insight into how the show is made. I should let you speak to this, Shane, although I'm not sure you want to. We are constantly doing music, and it is constantly a thorn in Shane's side because of...
No, it's not a thorn. I exaggerate how much of a thorn it is in my side.
But it sucks.
Well, no, it's fun, but I just want you guys to, feel
respect the fact that
feel the power of that trigger when you pull it.
Yeah, like right now, I think it's worth saying, like, Shane doesn't like it when we.
Fortunately, we're not doing anything.
We're not.
Well, luckily, Seth's,
pitch perfect and
pitch
always on
perfect, and
rhythm.
there's no reason to even add accompaniment.
Right. So just so this is just going to be. You don't even have to change this. It's going to be beatboxing that matches that. So just put that under, and then it's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be no tempo issues with that.
And
so,
I'm editing
with
this,
Seth,
so
never.
I'm leaving that in.
So the idea of doing a character that didn't have accompaniment, I think would have been really tough. It would have been.
That would have been impossible for me.
It would have been
do.
a deal breaker.
To have to do all of the music would have been impossible. Even like a little piece of music, like one that I was thinking about is the Beano and Bargy, but not the theme song to their show, but the Beano of Something in the Stars with Bargy. Like that's a little song that I think plays for like 10 seconds. And it's like, if you're going to write 10 or like produce 10 seconds of a song, it's like almost the same amount of time as it takes to produce like 3 minutes of a song. So it still took like an hour and a half, 2-3 hours just to do that kind of thing. Part of that is on me because I want it to sound good,
Yeah.
but it takes time to do that.
Yeah. So we're, that is to say, if you listen to the show, we are constantly doing that all the time. And so the idea of doing an entire episode of that was like, well, that'll take 4 months to mix. We can't do that. But Jeremy, who is a seasoned musical improviser as well, he performs on a team called Rumpelteazer with Eric Gerson, who was our second guest. And he was actually a sort of a last-minute addition to the episode because we thought, well, if we're doing a musical episode, let's get somebody to improvise along with us. And that way, it takes some of the load off of Shane to, figure out what key we're singing in and change the key signature as we go constantly because we're always drifting off of pitch and yada, yada, yada. So we called up Eric, who was down, which was awesome. And one of the really amazing things about this episode is that Eric and Chris had never worked together, as far as I know. And Eric is just that fucking good that he was able to just jump in. I mean, Eric is truly a genius. It was really awesome.
And it was not planned that he would also play a character.
Yeah, he just jumped in.
He just
jumped in as Jakk.
At this point, when Eric had been confirmed, I was like, at this point, sure that this episode would not work in a million years because we're trying to do a musical episode. And I think this was maybe the first time that we had any in-person recording for the season. And it was Alden, Seth, and Winston at my apartment. And then Jeremy and LA over Zoom, Mujan and Ali over Zoom, Chris over Zoom, and then Eric, who's meant to be accompanying all of us, is on his own Zoom feed. So he's not in a room with any of the performers. And anyone who's attended a birthday party over Zoom knows that it's impossible to sync up. Like the lag is, I had thought it would just not be possible for him to accompany anybody, especially in a way where you'd have to like essentially anticipate where you guys were going with your melodies and your rhythm and then play ahead of it.
Well, and the crazy thing, not only is there a lag, the lag is slightly different for all of us.
Yeah.
Like, depending on the speed of your internet and the processor in your laptop, it could have been, plus or minus a quarter second for each of us. And it sounds great. And he was so on top of it. It was awesome. And so, yeah, I mean, once we had Eric in place, foolishly, I thought, oh, well, why don't we just make if the music is coming out of the character diegetically, like if the character is playing the piano in the scene, then Shane's completely off the hook. There's no extra stuff to do. He just puts that piano sound in the geography of the scene. And then all the music stuff is taken care of because all of the music is created in the scene and we don't have to worry about anything else. I'm a goddamn moron. So Shane, what exactly was I wrong about? Can you explain that?
No, you weren't wrong about it at all because it could have been that way.
Yeah.
When I got into it, like actually working on the episode, like I do all of these, what I call like zoomed out passes where I just, do the nuts and bolts things, fix up some dialogue, add some basic notes for myself while I'm trying to absorb where I feel like the episode wants to go, what the natural flow of it is, how the sound component is going to reinforce the storytelling, right? And what I got listening to it, especially with just a piano in there, I was like, I feel like the episode is doing a send up of musicals. Like we hit every sort of like trope, and for lack of a better term, yes, and that would be I would consider that a failure for me not to like reinforce what I felt like you all were doing in the moment, right? So like when my favorite moment when Winston jumped in with "You're absolutely right" or whatever, I remember hearing that and being like, ooh, that, like in the room while we were doing it, like that needs to be something, but it's sort of like a Jenga thing. It's like if you pull that one out, it's like that can't be the only bit, just like what the big exciting it's moments,
like snowballs.
It snowball, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and to be clear, Alden, when I was like not agreeing with you, it wasn't that I thought that concept you were pitching of just like the music's there was wrong. It was just like I was like, no, I know that Shane, right. I know that Shane will not be able to control
in hell
himself.
that Shane is just going to leave it alone. And that's, it's easy to listen to the show and think, oh, there's the improvised part, which is all the content. And then it's sound designed by someone who adds sound to everything. And that's the show. And I would say that that was sort of how we approached it very early on in the run of the show. But as the show went on, Shane's sound design became, it's an equal cast member in the show. And the reason I say that is because not only is there stuff that Shane does that we never talked about in the recording and never talk about until we hear him having inserted it,
and we're not allowed to talk about it.
And we're not allowed to talk. We must never speak of it.
We must never speak.
Yeah, I'm going to be bleeping this part.
Yeah, but it's stuff that that elevates what we do to not only like a funny thing or like a plot thing, but a thing that has significance sonically, which is like so great.
Yeah, I like to play with like the bigness and smallness of moments, like how I can stage a particular either scene or even just an interaction to get the most out of it. So like 505, I think, was in this season where I've done the most of that with James Urbaniak. where because that episode takes place on a stage, I wanted to really play with blocking in that one. So like when Plek and AJ are improvising sort of for the first time, like instead of being with them up close in that moment, like to be sitting in the back of the room with James Urbaniak's character,
Max sipping
with
his
Max
tea
in
the house.
Yeah, just sipping his tea, watching and
Yeah.
critiquing.
And then the train is going by
But
outside
that's the thing.
building.
That's a perfect example because it's not just a geographic decision of like, where is the listener in this scene? It's you saying, this is an episode about theater, so we're going to lean into what it sounds like to be sitting in a theater. All of that is to say, I think that this sort of culminated in 507 because Shane, you were not content with leaving Eric's brilliant piano accompaniment as just another voice in the chorus. You wanted to go further and not only make it sound more produced and more interesting, but do it from a story perspective. If you'll remember from the released version of 507, the moment that C53 starts singing with Shai'An is the moment that the full orchestration sort of comes in and really fills out and stops sounding just like a piano.
Yeah, so it took me a lot of time to figure out how I wanted to approach the music, period, because we could have gone a more Burmaful melodies direction. For those of you who don't know, we've released an entire Burmit Nundaloy album. And the way that we did that is Jeremy made some 4 and 8 bar music loops that Seth improvised over. And then I took it and added new parts and redid the music. I changed the tempo and some of these things. So it was very much like I was the most apparent voice in the music. And
Yeah.
when we were doing this episode, I thought that could have been an option, but then realized that that didn't feel like an appropriate thing to do for this episode because Eric is a guest and like his biggest role in this episode was the music and also played a character. But I wanted to make sure that because he was a guest that I treated all of his contributions in the exact same way that I would treat any other guest, which would not be to manipulate in a way where the original intention is at all obscured or lost. I wanted it to be reinforced. The way that we did this in practice is that Eric, when he was recording, we asked him to also capture all the MIDI data coming out of his piano. What you're hearing in this tracking session is just the audio of what we heard. But what MIDI data is basically all the instructions that the keyboard is putting out. So like when you play...
It's like sheet music, basically.
Sort
right?
of. It's like computer sheet music. But what that allows you to do in post-production is that with that MIDI data, I could make what he was playing sound like any instrument for which I had a virtual instrument for, right? And what I would do is rather than me writing something on top of it, I wanted to stay in Eric's voice. So I took the MIDI track from his piano and copied it down to every layer. And I would basically like mute big chunks of the MIDI data under the violins, for instance, and just let them, what Eric was playing on his keyboard, like just decide, okay, so the violins are only going to play this melody that's within this greater MIDI data track. And I did that for every instrument. And also had to choose what articulation every instrument would play. And articulation would be like on a cello, for instance, like bowing a cello is an articulation and plucking a cello is like a different articulation. So I'd also have to choose like what each instrument, like how it was playing.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And then whenever there's a rock band, that's when I'm just jumping in fully where I'm just adding something on top of it. That's me playing because that data wouldn't have existed in Eric's
like when there's electric guitar coming
electric
on top
guitar,
of songs.
drums, synthesizer.
Fireworks.
But everything else was what Eric was playing on the keyboard.
So at any given moment, there are other instruments playing the same notes as his original piano, but depending on what moment, it could be like you've got
so the basses would only be playing the left like, you know, some of the left-hand stuff he was doing.
I mean, that's a granular way of saying that Eric's music had the depth to it that you could fully orchestrate it with only his music and it still sounded great.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about one of my favorite things about the episode, which is like the philosophy of why you decided to orchestrate that as opposed to just let the piano be, you know, a character in the show?
Yeah. Like we said earlier, our original idea for how to approach the sound design in this episode was to have like a more diegetic presentation of the music. So as if we are hearing what's actually happening in quote unquote reality of the scene.
Which is why we, you know, have a character, like, which is why early on we're like, where is that music coming from?
Exactly.
Like we wanted to present it as though the characters are all hearing the music, the piano, the same way that the listener was.
And when we move towards this bigger, more produced sound, the music not only becomes non-diegetic, but the quality of everything in the episode I felt like needed to become different, more produced, be more musical, right? And the way that I started figuring out how to decide when it was going to go to those places where we went from real life, reality, diegetic, we're hearing what's there, to big over the top produced rock opera, was to sort of interpret when like real communication was happening between all the characters. Mm-hmm. So basically the moments that would be, you know, creating whatever magic that's causing things to regrow and stuff, that's how I decided when to go into the fully produced stuff. As a way to help the storytelling or reinforce the storytelling of like what is happening in this episode, what the big idea is of this episode, of that like the music is causing things to change and grow.
Yeah, and I think the way you described it to me was that's what the characters are hearing when they're really locked into this language that Jakk and Shai'An speak, is that like that's the magic of this language, is that it actually informs everything else. It's not just improvising a song, it actually has more meaning to it when they're really in it, which I think is such a cool thing, and it makes you really appreciate it more. Like there's so much more going on in those songs, like character wise and plot wise, when it switches over and it feels like, you know, they're really getting it.
And I love the dropouts when like Plek and AJ are having asides, and then it just
right.
You're just hearing go back piano, just like, to the little like plinky piano, and then it pops back into the full production. Hopefully, from what Shane is saying, that when you go back and listen to 507 again, that'll sound completely different for you, or you'll hear some of these moments differently. And it's also okay if you don't notice these things, because part of the work of like all this sound design and editing is that you aren't distracted by the sort of unreality of it, and like it sounds smooth and everything. So no pressure to focus on these things.
No, I mean, it's like curious. You should be able to enjoy it if you're just listening to it, you know, out of your cell phone speaker. Just please do not do the 1.5x. That's just not right to listen to it fast. That's
I wish they had a setting we could set where that it turns it into like a terrible tone.
Yeah.
I mean, this episode or 507 itself would have just been the worst thing to listen to on 1.5.
At 1.5.
We have to track down those people and ask them.
But 2x we're totally cool with.
Yeah.
You
have to have
it. Handle 2x.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And even 2x.
It's double time.
Yeah.
I'm always impressed by the editing, though. That's one of the reasons why I push myself, is because I'm trying to jump over the bar that you two are setting with the edits. Even
people who are very aware of how much work goes into the sound design, I think it's easy to ignore how much work goes into the edit. Not only because a lot of people don't understand what the raw session sounded like, but also just, you know, editing at its best is completely invisible, I think, especially in an audio format.
Yeah.
Seth, how do you approach it? Or do you have anything, any thoughts about this episode specifically?
Sure. I mean, one of the reasons I thought that this episode would be a great one to release in the raw is that it for all of its musical insanity, it was not that tough of an edit. Like Alden said, it's pretty linear. Whereas some recording sessions would just have long tangents that didn't go anywhere, that end up getting cut, or like things are totally reordered and things like that. This one was really just like slimming down. And I didn't realize until after this episode came out that I'm pretty sure we didn't cut a single song, which is insane.
Especially considering that Song of the Children was left on.
You mean the best song in the episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, that maybe could have gone.
No, that one was great. I love that one, actually.
But yeah, and so maybe we didn't edit quite enough, but at the same time, I felt like this was one, you know, some of the edits are super, super challenging because I have to change things structurally to make them work.
One of the things that I think, you know, Seth and I have always talked about since we started doing the show is that we want to edit to make the show as good as it can be while still retaining all of the elements that make improv great.
Yeah.
And so every episode from the very beginning, it's always been about, if we take out everything about this recording session that is just not quite the pace or the energy or the plot or the character stuff that is right on point, what does that leave us with? And is that enough to make it, you know, can we get that same pace and that same ratio of jokes to story to character that you get from a written sitcom? And so when we say the show is improvised, it's true. The show is complete. We never, except for commercials and the crawl, we never script anything.
Right.
But because of that, the editing process is that much more important, because the editing process is what we use to take an improvised recording session down to something that has the feel of something that is scripted.
Right. It's like, in a way, it's like a little bit like documentary editing in that, like, the recording sessions are kind of like collecting footage.
Right.
And then you have to be like, well, what did we get? And in a typical, just ratio wise, in a typical recording, I've figured out that like we use a third of what we record.
Wow.
If we recorded for 90 minutes, I will imagine like this is probably going to be 30 minutes cut. And some of that is chit chat and not really improv.
And breaks too. Yeah.
And some breaks, but a lot of it is just
shrimp.
It's just compression, so much shrimp. It's really compression and just like optimizing what is the version of this that still feels completely natural and takes out, you know, everything that feels like a lull or that takes you out of the story.
Yeah. And I think it also has informed how we perform as well, because it's not, we're no longer, when we record an episode, we're no longer treating it the way we'd treat a live performance, which is trying to maximize everything and really move everything ahead as quickly as possible. Now I think we play a little slower because we know we are going to be condensing it, and it allows us to kind of hit a lot more notes throughout each scene. So we're not just getting in, heightening everything and getting out the way that I think we all were trained to do as improvisers. And now it's something that I think we improvise to the edit a lot more than I think we used to, for better and for worse. I think it has made the show have a little more depth, but I think it's made the edit, you know, exponentially more involved than it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, I mean, to be totally honest, one of the reasons we've stuck with the releasing every 2 weeks is that
right, everything is harder.
The editing and the sound design have just gotten way more intense over time. I think it's partly as like just the lore of the show. Like in the beginning, anything any guest said could be true forever, and that still happens all the time, where guests make up something that's we've never heard before that's completely true. But now that so much is established, the new episodes have to function in the universe of the 85 episodes that have come out before.
Speaking of, I often have to, I mean, for every episode, I have to go back to previous sessions to pull, whether it's like, how did I do the Culotta's vocal effect, or I need to get like the backgrounds from whatever. And the other day I was back in 201 and I was like, whoa, I remember this being so tough, but like, it's like a 29-minute episode with like, 10 tracks or whatever. And
Right.
compared to what we do
Two locations.
now. Yeah, 2 locations, exactly. To what we do now, where it's just so much bigger and so much more complicated on every level.
And that's a perfect segue into talking about 510, which is going to be out in 2 weeks and is going to be the perfect example of how much crazier this show has gotten since we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening to this. I hope this has provided some insight into how we make the show, and I hope it gives you a little special feeling in your tum when you listen to future episodes and enjoy a little piece of editing or sound design by these two fine gentlemen here.
Yeah.
Sitting next to me on Zoom.
Don't forget to tell your friends to listen to Mission to Zix. Yeah. Send them a different episode.
Rate and subscribe.
And send
also,
them rate and
never
subscribe.
too late.
Oh, yeah. Not this episode for your first episode, but.
No.
Yeah. And we will be back in 2 weeks with a real barn burner of an
big
episode.
Old ditty.
A real big old juicy ep for you.
If you're sick of constantly arguing with the people closest to you about topics that really aren't going to change the world, we're here to take that stress off of your shoulders. We take care of it for you on We Got This with Mark and Hal.
That's right, Hal. If you have a subjective question that you want answered objectively once and for all time for all of the people of the world, questions like, who's the best Disney villain, Mac or PC? Or should you put ketchup on a hot dog? That's why we're here.
Yes, I get that these are the biggest questions of our time, and we're often joined by special guests like Nathan Fillion, Orlando Jones, and Paget Brewster. So let Mark and Hal take care of it for you on We Got This with Mark and Hal, weekly on Maximum Fun.
I'm Judge John Hodgman.
And I'm Bailiff Jesse Thorne.
10 years ago, I came on Jordan Jesse Go and judged my first dispute. Is chili a soup? It's a stew, obviously.
The judge has dispensed a decade of justice. He's the one person wise enough to answer the really important questions, like, should you hire a mime to perform at your own funeral?
After they cry, I want them to laugh.
Do you really need a tank full of jellyfish in your den?
They smell like living creatures decaying.
Only if they are decaying.
Yeah, which they will be.
Real people, real justice, real comedy.
Winner of the Webby Award for Best Comedy Podcast.
The Judge John Hodgman Podcast, every Wednesday on MaximumFun.org.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned, audience supported.
This one's a dumb one. I can tell.
Oh. You're absolutely right. Okay, AJ. Okay, all right.
So he is pet.
Oh, no, not really. I wouldn't say pet.